Hazleton is a small city with 25,000 residents in the U.S. state of Pennsylvania. It used to be a Democratic stronghold, but 60% of the ballots cast in this week's presidential election were for Donald Trump. A lot has changed in Hazleton over recent decades. It was once a prosperous coal mining area, but the mines shut down long ago, leaving the city's white middle class feeling economically adrift. Few people know that as well as Rick Morelli. He's been active in local politics for years, for the Republicans. In his view, Trump's victory is down to one main issue: the new wave of migrants.
Most of the businesses now, half of them or more than half are Hispanically owned. So this street really has changed in Hazleton. And, you have some old places like Vesuvius Pizza that are still here. You have Bob's Sporting Goods that are still here. But you'll notice there are a lot of different shops here that a lot of the Hispanic population go to and live and start it. So the good news is there's new businesses in town, but change has changed.
Meanwhile, half of Hazleton's residents have Hispanic roots. That's a tenfold increase since 2001. Morelli says there are also more and more school children who can barely speak English, driving down educational standards overall. Many people here think the same way. In Jim Grohol's diner, you can hear people harking back to the good old days. They hope for a return to prosperity, and they believe Donald Trump is best placed to achieve that.
What do you think the majority of the people are saying why it's changed, the pros and the cons, and do you think it's had an effect on the election in any way?
Hazleton's changed.
Yeah.
Remember, Hazleton was a lot of senior citizen people. They passed away or moved. Same thing. We're more blue collar. We've lost the white collar college grads.
Yep.
So I have two sons. One's in Philly, one's in Colorado.
Yeah.
That's the demographics have changed, and local industries are now warehousing. Instead of having white collar jobs,
yep.
We have warehousing now. Which brought in people from other states to fill those positions.
Morelli believes Trump won because of a better election campaign strategy. His party concentrated on rural and small-town America, while the Democrats focused on the big cities.
What are your thoughts of the election?
I think a female should get a chance, but not her.
Yeah.
Now, Palin from Alaska, she'd make an awesome president.
Palin, the failed frontwoman for the arch-conservative Tea Party movement, still has some supporters here. But most of the voters at the diner favored Trump because they thought he'd improve their economic situation.
We need the jobs back again, and he's promising that. So let's hope that he will keep his promise to do that.
Trump's promise to a shrinking middle class.
I think that brings the economy back into this country. They're losing too much. Everything gets shipped out of country because the people make more money. If they take it down to Mexico, they make more money by shipping it back to us.
It's a sentiment shared by Republican Rick Morelli.
Which is, I think, Donald Trump's message is focus on America first. Focus on the people here first, and then go after it.
I mean, I love all people. There's nobody that I don't love, but you can't have everybody just coming in here.
Trump has pledged to tighten immigration restrictions. Many in Hazleton approve. Rick Morelli has a good job in the marketing department of a software company. He owns his own home, complete with a living room fireplace. But this is his real passion.
That's me on that bike. So when you talk hobbies, this is my number one hobby. This is my little guy, Jack.
Morelli is not in dire economic straits. He is part of America's middle class that is still doing well. And yet, he often feels like a stranger in his own country. For years, he has represented the Republicans at the local level. A few years ago, he even met Donald Trump at a GOP convention. And he got to shake the future U.S. president's hand. Morelli didn't like everything that Trump said during the campaign, but he's willing to shrug that off.
This is a guy who's not running for the Pope. I like the fact that he's a regular person. I think that's what most people want. People don't want politicians out there.
Like many in the U.S., Rick Morelli no longer trusts the political establishment. Trump succeeded in portraying himself as an outsider, an enemy of that establishment. For Morelli, that was also part of Trump's appeal. This is the America he loves. The sight of his well-tended Harley-Davidson, safe and sound in his garage, with its promise of freedom, the open road.
There's actually they came out in Cleveland, Bikers for Trump, and it actually turned into a pretty big group throughout the country. There are a lot of rallies and people, and the bikers were clearly for Trump. You know, these are the people that the polls don't call, but definitely got out to vote, got the word out, and showed their support. So, you know, there was definitely an underwave of people who no one really thought was out there, and obviously came out to support Trump.
Morelli knows many Americans don't share his views. Donald Trump has polarized the country like few politicians before him. It remains to be seen whether Trump will be able to bring the country together again. It will be difficult, but Rick Morelli believes that he can.